Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel, nice to see you again. Today we've got another truckload of tantalising Temu temptations for you. So regular viewers of the channel will know that I like a bargain every now and again, and Temu, the platform that helps you to shop like a billionaire as they say, often provides. So I've made a few videos in the past about some of the bargains, some of the tat that I've got from Temu, and I thought I'll put a little bit of a twist on today's video with 3 things Temu has offered me relating to aquariums. So the deal is, every time we get offered one of the bargains, I do with inverted commas, that Temu offers me, I take the aquarium related items to see what kind of things I can build up on. The way this works for any of you who have used Temu in the past is if you don't buy something every other day, they will bombard you with emails, text messages, WhatsApps, whatever it may be, asking you to come and buy more stuff. That's their whole raison d'etre. They will often do this with weird and wonderful offers. You will get to crack some eggs, play the cups game, you will get offered all kinds of fantastical things. But the crux of it is, you spend a little bit of money, they'll give you some free gifts. You get a little bit of a discount if you spend a little bit more money. Various offers. They tend to come down to spend £10, £25, whatever it is, you get to pick some free gifts. And the way it's, I mean, this is very cynical of me, but the way it's done is they will offer you a whole plethora of seemingly high value items, saying you get 6 of these if you spend £25, you spend your £25, and then you pick one of the higher value items, and then the second gift is a pen or a post-it pad. So, know what you're getting into. This is not me making a sales pitch for Temu. If you would like to join up, there will be a link in the description. I will get a little bit of a kickback if you do, and I'll be able to buy even more tat. But anyway, some of the things I bought were things like this. I've gone for things I actually needed, so I've been doing some vertical lives recently, and the microphone's a bit rubbish, so I thought, I know, I'll buy myself a little phone microphone. Things like that. I needed some batteries for my GoPro. Get some battery chargers, all things that I was actually going to buy, and that's the way that I would suggest you go about this. If there's things you want, get the things you want and see what freebies you get offered. Don't go the other way around saying, I wonder what I could buy to enable me to get the freebies. So with that in mind, I will now run you through a bunch of the things that we got this time. So the rules that I've set myself, as such they are, is I've tried to go for aquarium related stuff, if you can call it that. The first thing that we came across here was this. It's a little bit of a clock, thermometer, hydrometer, moisturometer, weather station. It's listed as a weather station. But in the couple of weeks that I've had this set up, it has been really sunny outside, but every day it's told me it's raining, except for today, where it is raining outside and it's not showing that it's raining. Go figure. And when you actually get the instructions for this thing, it says it's a bedside clock, and that's the reason that it dims after like 3 seconds use and you can't actually see anything. Other than that, the accuracy seems to be pretty good. So the humidity and the temperature seems to match my other ones. So I do tend to have these all over the place, because I like to know, because I heat my fish room rather than individual tanks, I like to know what the temperature is in different places in the fish room, just to make sure that I'm not getting any hot spots or cold spots, any drafts and things like that. So that's why I wanted it. That's why I picked it. And for that purpose, it's kind of fine. I can leave this one up here and just tap it every time I want to see it. Interesting note for, apart from the beeping, the days of the week in this one seem to be slightly different. Weeks the beeping is really starting to do my head in, but the weeks according to this manufacturer go Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Monday. Next up, we have something that is actually quite useful and I do like. Again, I will put links to all these things down below, just so as you can see what they actually cost full price. But remember, all of these were free. I always have to do that when I say free, because they weren't really free. Free options, but this is a feeder, an automatic feeder. Nothing special about that, you might think, but the thing that is good about this is you get the individual compartments, so you can use different foods. So you can feed up to 3 of these per feeding, so you can do multiple per day, but can do 3 sections per feeding, so I can do 2 of my soft Artemia, some pellets, and get some flake in there, whatever it might be. It will do up to 4 days in advance, which is a bit limiting, but there are only so many compartments, so that's kind of fine. I'm actually a big fan of automatic feeders, because anything I can do that doesn't make me rely on my stupid malfunctioning brain to remember to do things is really useful. So I'm a big fan of these. I like automatic feeders in general. I use them a lot. The only time I don't use them is when I go away, because they can fail. That's my only advice for automatic feeders, is don't use them when you're not there, which is kind of when they're designed to be used. But when they fail, they either dump an entire contents worth into the tank, and this can't do that because it's only one at a time that will actually work. So it's in theory a little bit safer. It comes with loads of things. It comes with a spoon to fill up the sections. It comes with several different mounting brackets and options, or just these suckers to stick it to a glass lid. Really quite well thought out, quite sturdy, rechargeable rather than batteries, using USB-C, so it's been made this century and everything. Kind of a win. Kind of like this. Works quite well. It says it's moisture proof. The way it works is actually it's just this little door here opens and closes. So yeah, it's in theory quite good. While we're on the automatic feeder theme, we've got this one as well, slightly different, and I do use my Temu purchases just to try things quite a lot. So it's your more traditional kind of hopper. You fill this, and it has a sliding mechanism underneath that fills out. Again, claiming to be moisture resistant, and the moisture is the problem with most of these things, but this is a little bit different to the other one because you can just keep running this. It will just do the same thing day in and day out, rather than having individual different foods. So you can only have one food really. But it also comes with an extension, so if you want to use this for multiple days, if you did want to risk it and go when you're on holiday, it's quite a massive thing. Now, it's not like a koi pond feeder or anything like that, but for your normal sized aquarium, that works quite well. Not rechargeable, so this one does rely on batteries, but it's not the end of the world, I suppose, with rechargeable batteries available. In terms of mounting options, you can just have it sitting there. It does come with lots of suckers for the feet, so you can secure it down a little bit, and it does come with this other bracket for if you wanted to attach it to the side of a tank on some glass or something like that. That would work for you as well. The thing that I'm saying so far about these is they're fairly solid. They're not flimsy. They're not giving off vibes of cheap chat straight away. I'm sure they are cheap tat, but so far I'm kind of happy with these. I haven't actually used this one yet, so this one only came in yesterday or maybe even the day before. But I've not set this one up and used it yet, whereas the other one we saw earlier, I have been using that for a couple of weeks, and it's pretty damn good. High hopes for this one too. Both of the mini hopper here and the extending hopper come with lids to keep the moisture out. Moisture is the enemy of these types of feeders because it just makes things clump together and not really feed well, but kind of well thought through. Next we move on to the Mofish Aquarium. What's a Mofish Aquarium, I hear you ask? I don't know, I answer. What it actually is like a retrofit Venturi valve. So you fit this little bit here onto the outlet of your filter. You have this pipe here, which you run out into the air, connecting this bit here, and this controls the amount of air that you allow into your oxygen. So it's good for oxygenating tanks, breaking surface tension and things like that. So a Venturi valve is not new, not expensive, it's not the most high-tech of items, but if it works quite well, it'll do quite well. Next item, it's an extending algae scraper, which in theory sounds good, but it's just this. Sometimes they come with different heads and things like that, so this one does have a replaceable head. You can slide that out and slide it back in again. So if you've got something that meets that profile, then that's great, but this is just squidgy, not rigid at all. It does actually do a surprisingly good job at cleaning glass and things like that. It's obviously not going to scrape or scratch any glass because it is so soft, so that's a bonus. And it's pretty big. I can annoy Brian with it from way over here. I will use it in some of my larger tanks to get some of those more stubborn, harder to reach parts. I'm going to be making this face for a lot of these things. They're not necessarily things I need, but I can find uses for them. This next one is not necessarily something that is an aquarium item, but if you've seen my last video about me trying to propagate plants immersed rather than submersed, it's a little plant propagator. They are very similar to the ones that I already use. They're designed for seeds. So you have your plastic base like so, you have your seed tray, which I can't get apart, but that sits in there like so. Fill that with soil, put in your seeds, put a lid on, and normally they come with a little dial here, and this is meant to let your air in and out, just to get aeration in. But these ones have a bit of an upgrade. They come with little LED grow lights rather than just a disc that controls air input and output. It does do that, but it also has a USB connection, and they are grow lights, which I shall demonstrate for you now. Pretty good, eh? Probably ridiculously gimmicky, but I just wanted to try them, and if it was free, then why not give it a go? So I've got two of them. I think they'll work quite well. They also come with some tools. And some plant labels. So, you know, you get lots of stuff. Most of it useless, but still lots of stuff. Now we get into the brine shrimp category. I have brine shrimp hatcheries. I have DIY ones. I have manufactured ones. The idea here was I could get a few different ones and make a comparison video to see whether or not one type is better than another type, the yields change, that kind of thing. So if you would like to see that video, comment down below. Say, yes, I would like to see that. So I thought I'll buy a couple of the different brine shrimp hatcheries that keep coming up. So we've gone for this one. There's actually two of these. It's basically a black plastic strip around a plastic tub on a hanging thing, with your valve down at the bottom for the air. Feels kind of DIY, but yeah, it's kind of everything you need. But my goodness, does it come with a lot of stuff. Don't know if you can see all of this, but it comes with your airline stoppers, your brine shrimp measurer, airline valves, splitters, measuring cups, airline clamps, brine shrimp collection things. There's just loads of stuff in here. All brine shrimp collection net. I was kind of impressed. It's just well thought out. I mean, none of it's terribly high quality, but it doesn't need to be. It is fairly straightforward, cheap piece of things. Zero instructions. So if you have never made brine shrimp before, collected brine shrimp before, you might need to have a bit of a read up on how you're meant to do it, because this is just, to the uninitiated, it's a pile of stuff. Don't know what it's for. But because I've obviously made this a good few times and make it regularly, it all makes sense to me, and I think that's pretty good. Again, you decide for yourself whether this or a DIY version or a more premium version is the thing for you, and see whether or not it's worth it for you. Links will be in the description. Still on the brine shrimp train, this is the next one. Instead of I'm a man of simple tastes, I'm also a simple man. I have no idea how this is meant to work. I'm going to have to read you the description of this one, because again, it came like this. No instructions, no nothing. It's called Fish Breeding Kit with efficient and easy to use aquarium habitat for spawning shrimp, featuring a large mesh feeder, a scoop, a drip dispenser for spinning shrimp eggs and aquatic plants without battery. And it's this. So again, lots of stuff. Don't know what much of it does. So there, obviously, for collecting, makes sense. Measuring, filtering, stirring. So one of the instructions says, there's no need for light and oxygen, and the phototaxis characteristics will make the brine shrimp ovum concentrate in the hatching circle. What hatching circle? There's 0 circles. Now, to me, it looks like that's meant to go there. That's meant to sit like that. Other than that, don't know. This here is like a plastic thing. Is that meant to be there so it's meant to float in water? Let's read the instructions a bit more. Right, I've read this several times and I'm not really much clearer, but my impression is you take this, which you'll notice has some feet and some standoffs. That goes in the middle like this. That means the water can flow underneath it. It says you add your salt and your brine shrimp eggs and your water to this bit here. Stick this on. And as this is the only bit that light's getting to, your brine shrimp will hatch out and congregate here, at which point you can then scoop them out with one of these and put them into your collector thing. I think it is meant to float, so you keep it in the water and that's what gives it its heat. I said all the other ones didn't feel very flimsy. This one does. But I will read this a few more times and see if we can figure out what the hell is meant to be going on. Again, comment down below if you want to see these hatching video comparisons. Because this one I've never seen before, never mind used, so I don't know if it'll be any good. But when you don't know if something's going to be good, getting it free is probably the way to go with it. So this one called itself a Brine Shrimp Collection and Distribution System. It's 12 little test tubes. I don't know why that's been used. I mean, if you want to feel like a scientist and have some tiny test tubes, yeah. So the idea here is you collect your baby brine shrimp once it's hatched, put it into these, and then you have individual feedings for tanks and keep it in the fridge so they last for 12 days. I mean, if you're breeding a lot of fish, maybe, I suppose that could make sense. Some people complain that they make too much brine shrimp. I've never understood this, but they complain that, oh, my brine shrimp machine is 2 litres and it makes far too many brine shrimp and I can't use it all. Just because a bottle's 2 litres doesn't mean you need to put 2 litres in it. But anyway, if you wanted to keep it, make it last a little bit longer, it's a neat solution, I guess. Now, last but not least, it's not even last, so just not least, is an aquarium cleaning tool. So this is called an algae removal brush. It's basically a wire brush. The idea is you use this on your tanks hardscapes, so rocks and things like that. You just get in there and give it a little bit of a brush off and it gets those stubborn things because it's a wire brush. All I can say about this one is just as well it was cheap. These are actually great. I love these little called Algae Sponges. They kind of remind me of things my daughter and wife uses for polishing nails and things like that. Fingernails rather than house nails. But they're little sponges that are very slightly roughed, but not hugely abrasive, but really do a good job on that stubborn algae. I use these quite a lot. These came by the bag, so there's like 12 in a bag, and I think I've got about 12 bags of them. There's loads of them. And they last pretty well, easy to clean out. I've not worn one out yet. Sponges is a weird thing to say that I recommend, but these are pretty good. Good at getting into the corners, don't scratch the glass or acrylic or anything like that. Winner! The almost second final thing. This is what I've been using this. This is why I started doing this. So every time I bought something off Temu and they offered me some freebies, I got filter media. And I've got kilos and kilos and kilos of the stuff, whether it's bio balls, whether it's sintered glass media, whether it's ceramic rings, tons of the stuff. I firmly believe you can never have enough filter media. And the fact that I've got a couple of new tanks that I'm thinking about setting up and getting going, I just thought I'd order a load of extra of it. I like to have extra filter media ready to go, so if I am starting up a tank, so I can throw extra stuff into a sump. So as if I want to start up a new canister or something like that, I've got stuff that's already primed and ready to go. Again, it's not something that's hugely expensive, but you can quite often get a kilo here, a kilo there as a freebie on top of something else. It's a bit of a no-brainer. my final freebie is one of my favorite things from Temu, and it's the filter boxes. I've had these filter boxes for months. I've got another 2 that I'm going to use on my new 7-foot tank that's going to be Brine's tank here. So again, that's why I started collecting all the extra filter media, and I've now got 2 of those filters for free. They're not, I mean, they're normally what, you can get them for 20-25 quid, so they're not hugely expensive, but if you get them as a freebie on some kind of other offer, they're fantastic filters. I really like them, really rate them as well. So yeah, I think we've done pretty well out of this. So what do you think to my haul? I know it might be a slightly clickbaity video of all the free things I can get, but technically they were free, even though I know I paid for them with the other items I actually wanted. I feel like I got some good deals on the things that I actually wanted to buy. Very few of them were crappy. I mean, some of the things are a bit like, ugh, what was I expecting from a cleaning brush other than a brush I could use to clean things? So a lot of that's on me. I think I did pretty well out of most things. I'm happy with the value. And if I feel like I'm happy with the value, I think that's a pretty good win. Let me know what little bargains you've found. I'm always interested in these Temu videos. They always seem to do quite well for the channel. So the fact that I can get some good stuff to use in the hobby as well and share it with you, I think it's a bit of a win-win. So if you've found any good stuff off Temu or any of these other sites, come and join me on a Friday night at 9 PM and tell me about it, or put it in the comments down below. Let me know what bargains you've had. Thanks for joining me. See you in the next one. As always, links will be down in the description. I will get a little bit of a commission kickback if you order or join through them, so that's a good way to support the channel if you want to. Otherwise, give me a like, give me a subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!